Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about armrest covers and fitting of the armrest covers, how they come. So the covers come just like this from ourselves. We'll do whatever colour stitching you sort of selected. And then obviously you take your armrest out of the vehicle and you fit to this. All the armrest comes out in different ways. This one is just 2 screws and then pops out. Some are just screws and they'll just come straight off. Some you have to sort of slide out and the clips. All the vehicles and models are different, so it is something that's just a bit of a broad spectrum of how we fit the covers themselves. It's something we can do in-house, so if you can't, or you're not able to, or you didn't want to fit the covers, we can fit the covers for you at a small cost. But what we'll do is we'll run through the process of how we do it. Gluing up the cover and the armrest, so you glue both parts. Once they're about nearly dry, or very tacky, depending sort of what glue you use, this is the best time to fit them. You spray it on, spray this one on, and it's too wet and put them together, you can get seepage coming through the cover, or the cover won't stick properly, it'll move, it'll just lift off, and just like you just have problems then, and then you're just wasting a product or your money by doing so. So if you aren't comfortable doing them, like I say, do drop us a message, we can fit them for you. Like I say, for a small fee. What we'll do is we'll just clean this cover off. You can use upholstery cleaner or anything like that, but don't use silicone-based cleaners. Use silicone-based cleaners will just make the glue not stick at all. And again, you then just wasting the product and your money. So we use a little bit of brake clean on a rag, wipe them down, make sure that there's no grease or oil or anything like that on the armrest covers, and then we will stick this on. Obviously make sure it is dry. Obviously if you're using the upholstery cleaner, it might take a little bit longer to dry. Brake cleaner is quite quick, dry off quite quickly. So we'll get on with the install, and then like I say, we'll just show you a quick process of how we do that. So just a clean cloth, a little bit of brake cleaner we have, and then all we do quickly make sure, obviously, you get anything off that'll stop it sticking. Obviously making sure to get around all the front edges and the back edges on the armrest cover itself. As you can see, there is some marks that might just be staining. And as you can tell, obviously it'll just start to dry off. That might just take a couple of minutes, but once it's dry, then obviously you can apply the glue. Always work, just test fitting the cover onto the armrest just to make sure you are getting it the right way as well. Some can be tight. It's just literally about time. Take your time with it. Obviously, the more time you take, the better they fit. So, as you can see, that's the right way for the curve. So obviously, keep the armrest the same way. You'll know, obviously, that is the right way as it should be fitted. So we'll get the glue up. So we use an industrial, obviously grade glue. If you are using spray cans, obviously they can be a little bit different. I would recommend the high temperature glue. Obviously the last thing you want is it to be in the car, especially with these hot sunny days you're sort of having. Some interiors can reach sort of 40, 50 degrees. And the last thing you want is obviously them pulling off or anything like that in the vehicle or starting to debond. So I would recommend any sort of high temp glue there, obviously for upholstery grade. armrest and the cover are both glued up. What we'll do is let them dry. They're nearly there. As you can sort of hear. That one's a bit tacky. That one's still wet. So, we'll let them dry off. And then what we'll do is we'll fit them and then carry on with the rest of the bit. So, now that the covers, as you can hear, are all dry, obviously we can start installing the cover itself. So what I like to do is start off either at the back or the front, it doesn't really matter too much. And then just like to line them up on the seams. So I'll start with there. The good thing with them being dry, you're not fighting against the glue, you're not fighting against it where it's sticking. And the good thing with the high temperature is, so to activate the high temperature glue that we use, just have to use a heat gun. So I would recommend, obviously at home, not worth just using a hairdryer on it. Obviously the heat then, like I say, will activate the glue as well. And so the longer you spend on them, the better the result will be. When it comes to the corners and the seams, obviously you might still get a little bit of bunching. What you'll have to do is pull the corners in. I don't know, I can fully show you. And then as you go along, sort of keep pulling tension on, just to obviously pull them round. Just make sure there's no creases in there. So now the cover's pretty much fitted. I just have to do a little bit of adjusting. The line's a little bit out there, so pull these down a little bit just to get that sit to a bit level. And then I'll get the heat gun on it. And like I say, activate the glue, get it glued down, stick along these edges, and then trim obviously the excess off there. All fitted now, as you can see there. And then what we've done when we fit them in house, we do staple them on the inside as well. So obviously, just keep it nice and tight there. But yeah, that's sort of like the process we go through. Like I say, usually you just stick down the edge, trim on the edge, obviously to make sure that the cover fits back on, and then ready to go back into the car. So thanks for watching another quick video. Any likes, subscribes would be great. Like I say, if anybody has messages, we will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.